had faced the question of Jimmy's drug addiction in the past. As you began the tour, though, it was your impression, just for the record, that he was no longer using drugs of any kind.
Who?
Not drugs of any kind, but hard drugs.
Heroin.
Right. Heroin, cocaine.
I spoke to Jimmy Chamberlin and Billy Corgan at the beginning of their summer tour in Indiana. There, Jimmy talked openly about drugs as if they were part of his distant past.
Getting, flown around the world, living in an unreality that becomes reality, where you can do anything you want to do and somebody will pay for it. Because, it puts you in a mindset that's very dangerous and very self-destructive.
Were you aware at that time that he was still battling drug use, or that it was recreational?
We were really under the impression that he was having these kind of little weekend warrior blowouts, but that basically it was under control, and we were being made to believe that we were being told the truth at every step of the way, which we later found out wasn't true at all.
It's always a tragedy when that happens, because it's not necessarily always the artist's fault.
That's more both drug addict excuses. I'm sorry, but that's just more excuses. The fact of the matter is you're a human being. You have responsibilities not only to yourself but to others.
The European leg of the Infinite Sadness tour was plagued by problems centering around Jonathan Melvoin and Jimmy Chamberlin last spring. The band offered to stop their tour so Jimmy could seek treatment, but he insisted he didn't need it. Surprisingly, the Pumpkins managed to keep the drug situation private despite the severity of the problems they were having.
There were 2 overdoses prior to this particular overdose.
By Jimmy or Jonathan?
The first one involved Jimmy, and the second one involved both of them.
And did you, at that point, sit Jimmy and Jonathan down to say,
oh yeah,
firing is an option here?
We had a long comical talk where they told us, it'll never happen again, and we're really sorry, and we realize we're destroying our lives here, and Jonathan's like, I have a baby and a wife and responsibility, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity, and Jimmy's like, yeah, I have so much to lose, and we're really sorry. And
it's just, in hindsight, we look stupid, but at the time, we really wanted to believe.
We actually did fire Jonathan. We did fire him. He was fired for about a month. He was just going to finish up the end of the tour.
The end of the Europe tour.
Yeah, the one leg of the tour. And he was a sweet man, a really wonderful person. And we didn't know him for very long. We didn't know his history. And he came to me, basically, and sounded, not only convinced me, he had himself obviously convinced that he was cleaning up his act, and I didn't realize. I don't know his history. I still really don't. We really believed him. We gave him a chance to prove himself, and he did. He did for the rest of that tour. The 2 of them were,
on the best behavior.
And you want to believe that they're going to be okay.
It was difficult for the band to detect Jimmy's heroin use due to the lack of obvious physical signs.
All we had was our intuition telling us that something wasn't right, that Jimmy wasn't always in the right mind at all the right times, but you got to understand, he was hiding it so well that you were never quite sure. And when you believe that someone's telling you the truth, and you say, okay, now you're going to tell me the truth, right? Oh yeah, I'm telling you the truth. Is everything fine? Everything's totally fine. What are you going to do? You're going to go ask their mom? I mean, this is a 31-year-old man.
Did you notice him playing on tour?
He was playing very erratically, but I honestly, I didn't know what the problem was.
Just days before the band was to play New York City, they confronted Jimmy about his drug use again, but he insisted he was clean. This denial made it more shocking when the news came that Jimmy had overdosed and Jonathan had died of the combined effects of alcohol and heroin.
I was especially just absolutely just numbed, literally numbed. I thought I had dropped the phone out of my hand because I couldn't feel my hand anymore.
The members of the band were taken down to New York City's 19th precinct and questioned.
It was kind of absurd. They split us up, like on the TV shows, and took us in separate rooms and questioned us to see if our answers would match up. We're like, this isn't real. This is like some kind of cliche. I'm living a cliche.
We are now the rock and roll cliche.